Hi everybody, I'm Nairi and I've just done my week 2 of home educating. So if you don't know the story, we've got 2 adopted sons who are now in their teens. They both have additional needs and we've recently taken the oldest one out of school because we had serious concerns about him. We thought about doing it many times, but finally we did do it, and so this is week 2 of home educating. And I said that I would record my journey. So first of all, you probably see I'm really tired because my husband put his back out, so therefore I've been getting up for the school run for the other son and also doing all the input with the older son. But you know, that's not been too bad. But let me talk about the positives first. Let's do the positives and then let's do the tricky bits. Positives are, as time is going on, the bond between me and my son and understanding of what's going to happen and how it's going to happen is definitely growing, and me getting an understanding of what level he's at and his understanding is growing. Even though I think I had a good grasp of it before, I think having him at home during the day is definitely helping that. And I'm getting new ideas all the time about what I can trickle into the home education way, because what we're not doing is following a curriculum. We decided not to do that. We're hoping he's going to be able to go to an outdoor college in September, so we're not trying to get him through exams. We're not trying to follow a curriculum, so that's positive. He's getting into quite a routine, which is good. I think the difficulty with that, no, let's stick with positive. He's getting into quite a good routine. So he is getting up in the morning with my other son. He does the dog walk, which gets him out, and he has to socialise, which is difficult for him, but he'll come back and say what other dog walkers he's met, so that's building his confidence. He's always been good at caring for the dog, but it means he's got to think about what the dog needs in the morning. Then he'll go out and feed the chickens, which I think he's probably forgotten today, but he'll go out and feed the chickens. And then we'll get into 3 days a week, some sort of math sheet, and so that's keeping his brain agile for when he goes to college in September, because we could just drop everything. Academic wise, we could drop everything, and I'll chat about that in a minute, but we're trying to keep his brain sort of on the move. He's really enjoying cooking throughout the week. He doesn't enjoy the gardening with my husband, but then he's put his back out, so that hasn't happened. We've been out to do a few things together and he's enjoyed that. Another thing he's really enjoyed is we've gone to babysit for my grandson who's 6 months old, and I let my son do a lot with the baby because I think he's pretty good, but I kept checking on him. So I went off to do the dishes and some of the washing for my daughter, and I kept checking on how he was doing with the baby. And this was a level of self-confidence and self-esteem that I think can only be had with being allowed to do something like that. So he was stimulating the baby with the toys, and that allows him to regress a little bit, because if you've ever noticed a child with baby toys, any child, they'll stop playing with them as well. And this grandson is very smiley and really loves him, so he's giving him a lot of smiling back and a lot of lovely feedback, so that was really positive. Eating wise and that, good, because we're in a routine. So lots and lots of positives, and my son's mood is definitely better, much better, to the point that sometimes I'm like, okay, you can stop talking now, my head's going to explode. So yeah, which again, he's not a chatter, he's really quiet, so that's really, really good. Things to learn, or more negative things, are the dependence on me. Okay, this I think is going to be a massive issue if we don't have things for him to do outside of the home, because he likes doing things for me, which sounds lovely, but when I think about what he would do if I wasn't asking him to do it, or my husband wasn't asking him to do it, I'll worry. So I'm worried that it's going well, but I'm asking him to do things. And the reason why I'm concerned about this is I said to him, I'm just going to pop to see grandma, so I wanted to check on my mum, so I'll leave you here for an hour unless you want to come. He said, no, I'll stay home. I said, you get your book out and do some reading, or you know, and then carry on with your bedroom, because he's having a bit of a sort out. But I came back and I knew, because he kind of rushed down the stairs to look at the washing, which was irrelevant. It was a kind of guilty rush down the stairs, so I knew he hadn't done any of it. Yes, you could say, well, most children are like that. Yeah, they are, but it's very apparent to me, as it's always been with my sons, that they need adult intervention a lot. They need to be guided, all the time. Now you do this, now you do that, now you do the other. And obviously for the future independence, that's not good at all. So I did have this out with him. That was not a pleasant conversation because he did argue back, and I do get resistance from him when things aren't going so well and I have to challenge him. He tends to take it very, very personally and sort of shut down. It's going to be difficult for me to get the courage up sometimes to have those conversations because I prefer to keep things really positive in the house and upbeat, but there are times when it needs to be said. And I did sort of challenge and say, you need to understand that learning or acquiring new skills is not because someone asks you to do that. It's because you want to do that. And I know I haven't got through on that yet. So this is a big one, okay? This is a big one. And I say anybody who's thinking of homeschooling, home educating, it is tricky if you think your child is going to lean on you a lot, because at what point then do they not lean on you? At what point do they start to become independent? Obviously at school, they're away from you, they're having to make their own way. And in our case, to be honest, that was hugely negative in the end. We couldn't carry on with that. But the flip side of that is I don't want them to be completely dependent on me. So that's some things to think about. So we do have people coming out to see us, which aren't the home education team. They're another team to look at from a disability point of view of to how they can help us with him. And I'm hoping that they'll have some ideas about outside activities so that he goes through youth group at the moment, and he does go out with my son-in-law today, actually doing some deliveries, but I want him to have another activity outside of the house so that, you know, that independence is going to grow. So that's where we are with that. So getting back to my comment about doing the maths in the morning and stuff like that, there is just a huge shutdown with any formal learning. I mean huge. It's just like, it's down. Even when I try to explain the maths, I thought I'd take it away from my husband and I will try to explain the maths. Because sometimes I've got a bit cross with my husband because he's got a little bit, but I get it. Because actually my sons can be quite capable if somebody will explain that question to him. And then he's got the method understanding, then he will sit there and do it, but he likes someone to be there alongside him. And I think that I'm seeing a huge shutdown with any formal learning at all. Even really seeing that with him picking up a book. So I'm going to come at different angles with the books. I've tried the novel kind of angle, as in novels, but now I'm trying like the facts and stuff like that, things that he's interested in. So we're trying to look at bringing different books in for him. But when it comes to anything on a sheet of paper, he shuts down. Now, I'm going to say that's just engagement with learning that he's done at school. But I don't know how I'm going to get around that. And I think if we can't get around that, we just keep getting this huge negativity, we might actually drop it entirely and just stick to practical maths, which is how much are we going to the shop with, what are we coming back with, when he's cooking, measuring, weighing, those sorts of things. Because I'm not really up for the battles, not when I know he's going somewhere else in September. At the moment, he understands that the reason why we're doing the maths and the reason why we're doing the journaling that I get him to do and the reading is because we are home educating and he is going somewhere else in September, and it's to keep his skill level going. But I think he's saying yes to that because I'm saying that, not because he's really understanding that he has to do any of it. So there we go. So that's how we're going at the moment. I hope that gives you a flavour. Because my husband's had a bad back, then it's been tough this week, and having my own time to even do this video is actually been very, very difficult, and I wouldn't want it to carry on like that every week because I do think I need that break from him sometimes. It is intense. So yeah, but that's my update. I hope you enjoyed that, and I will see you on Fly Little Birds. Thank you.